Hello, I got this year's Born Yesterday from Lagunitas. Their fresh hop, or more specifically, or clearly wet hop beer. And it's 7.2% alcohol, like it has been for the last few years. And I haven't had it yet. It was bottled on the 7th, so that is 13 days ago. So nice and fresh. And they basically use the same recipe and more or less the same hops, I think. They don't really talk that much about it. They just list them off. Like, the label says Mosaic, but on the website it says Simcoe, Citra, Mosaic, and other made-up hops like Indigenous Catawampus. So I'm just not even going to talk about the hops and just get to it. A couple years ago, it was very hazy, like oddly hazy for a Lagunitas beer. Since then, it's been looking much more like your standard Lagunitas IPA. Pale, but with a deep, almost dark orange hue in the center. And nice looking head. I'm getting some good whiffs already. Bubbles coming up beautifully from the center. Nice, pretty small bubbles, but definitely not naturally carbonated. It smells like lots of candy. In part, it's just their house character. The way they, use their hops and their yeast just seems to bring out all sorts of hard candy notes. It doesn't jump out as, orange juice or really specific actual fruit juices, but orange-like candies and flowers, very rosy. They always have a deep floral quality that's like rose at Lagunitas is looking quite nice. There's a lot of big bubbles in there, but it's sticking around. It smells a little bit like juicy fruit gum, but not estery, reaching like Belgian yeast character. Maybe just a hint of cucumbery chlorophyll that might come in more in the taste. But pretty different from Maine Beer Company's small batch wet hop beer I had. That one was all Simcoe, and their yeast is just so clean. I'm definitely getting some stone fruit kind of yeast esters in this. Well, pretty good. Yeah, way more super fresh hops, perfumey, slightly green, cucumbery chlorophyll coming in the flavor, and it seems juicier on the tongue too. Yeah, and the finish is this cool green quality that's not herbaceous and dank. That kind of green quality you're used to getting from hops. It's pretty low in the bitterness, but it does have this resinous spiciness that tells you that it's packed with hops, but it might be a lower bitterness than most other hoppy beers from Lagunitas. Not that they make super hoppy beers or super bitter beers either. But it's really nice, and it's very different from a lot of the IPAs I've been drinking today. I guess it's a little bit, maybe like a half-acre IPA. Yeah, it's pretty comparable. And the mouthfeel is kind of medium light, especially for 7.2. And there's sweetness. They always have some sweetness in their beers. They're not super dry. Lagunitas is at least not the ones I usually drink. And it's kind of a woodsy quality. That it's really, it's somewhere between men's and women's perfumes, but not gross. It's not like, Axe body spray deodorant type or cologne or anything like that. But I feel like that's the special quality, like wet hop quality. I'm definitely noticing something in this that was in that Maine beer wet hop beer that I had. That is, it's some combination of that perfumey and the cucumbers. But very nice. And still, they sell it at a very reasonable price and ship it out, I think, basically nationally. I would recommend snatching it up as soon as you can while it has these interesting flavors. I mean, otherwise it's just like an extremely good Lagunitas IPA, like the best one they make. They call it a pale ale, I guess, because it's not as assertive with bitterness, but it's packed with hops at 7.2% alcohol. It looks like this. You can call it an IPA. Same with like Founders. They call their wet hop harvest ale a pale ale, I think, too. Well, this is a very nice change of pace from all the hazy, juicy crap out there. And this is always really well done. I would give it a 4.25. I'm not using a lot of my normal descriptors for IPAs because it is a little different. Especially, I mean, I don't drink Lagunitas all the time, but it's not just I'm not unloading all these juice, descriptions of different kinds of juice. I don't even know what they say on here. But it's a really, really unique quality in this beer. And it's very nice. Keep doing it, Lagunitas. Even though you're not independent anymore. They're totally owned by Heineken, I think. Keep doing this beer. I'll keep buying it. Bye. Yeah.